Morning, gang. Welcome to the Bracknell Television Centre and this morning's Tuesday, the 19th of February 2019, United Kingdom Talk. How are you this morning? On another beautiful sunny day, no clouds in the sky, sun is out, already stripped the bed of all its clothes and that's waiting in the washing machine for me to do my washing a little bit later. Lovely karaoke last night, I have to say. And again, some new faces. Now, we get a lot of new faces on a Friday night. Not usually so many new ones on a Monday. Generally regulars on a Monday, including the very delightful Mr. Ray Reynolds was there. I have to say, in top form last night, Mr. Ray Reynolds. Although he didn't bring his ukulele, he doesn't always bring that. If you're new to the show, welcome along. One of the other things I do is karaoke, and we have like several people who are always there. Although notably missing last night, lovely Maureen, who's got a bit of a chest infection at the moment, so she wasn't there last night. And of course, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, she pops in now and again, but she wasn't there last night either. So notably missing last night. And of course, I was the star of the show when I sang twice, like not just once, but twice, to the amazement and excitement of everyone that was there last night. You know, what you don't see on the live streams are people clapping and cheering and begging me, practically, especially Toby, begging me to sing more songs. And I say, no, I can't sing more songs. You must come first. But please, Chris, we only come to see you sing. And I have to say, no. No, I have to put my foot down, boys and girls. Fortunately, it's not got a stiletto on it or anything like that. Something very wrong about wearing women's clothes. I'm sorry, dear. Not for me, dear. No, I've tried it twice while performing, not out in public. I mean, sometimes I go down that shopping. It's very difficult to tell who's a man or who's a woman or who's a bilinear, whatever they're called now. New words every week, boys and girls. New words in the Daily Mail every week for us to choose from and to talk about, isn't there? Huh? Now, I have found a very, very good deal that I'm going to tell you about in the show today. It may save you a small fortune. I am seriously looking into it, so I'll come to that in a minute. But first, let us start early on in the show today with our messages. Here we go. First message of the day this morning over on YouTube comes from JP. There you go. Who says, "Hi Chris, loved seeing you sing last night." See? Loves my singing. I love my singing too. Everyone loves my singing. I could bring a new album out. Perhaps I could bring an album out. What do you think? I don't know. I haven't got anything that I've written myself. Or maybe Tony Power, I don't know if he's with us this morning. He writes songs. I could bring out my own album of singing songs, couldn't I? Perhaps I could do stars like Chris Reardon does Barry... Oh, I might need to rephrase that, mightn't I? Chris Reardon sings Barry Manilow. Chris Reardon sings Neil Diamond. I can do them all. Chris Reardon sings Justin Bieber. Well, and sorry, and all that business. Chris Reardon sings Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time. Something like that. Is that a good idea? Good morning to Maureen, who texts in this morning, who says, "I watched the karaoke stream last night. Thank you for sending me good wishes. I miss you." We miss you too, Maureen. It's not the same when certain people are there, in particular you and Mary. You and Mary and Roy in particular, and Roy and Ray Reynolds. Particular people that are, you know, when they're missing, it's very, very noticeable. You know, it's true. It's true. Morning to John Parrish. Also on YouTube this morning, Joanna is there. Good morning, Joanna. What's in Goldmells like in Skegness? I don't know. I've never been there. Never been there, JP. Never been there. I didn't reply fully to your little message, did you, earlier? The ground rent, 2,400... Sorry, JP sent me an inquiry about a caravan he's thinking of getting near Skegness. I would advise you, JP, really to go and look. Now, that caravan might be jammed up right close to another one. And the one next to it might be a little bit, you know, peasantish, shall we say. You can't really go and buy a caravan without going in and looking at it. The ground rent, 2,400, that don't sound too bad to me. I mean, mine is really cheap. Mine's 1,300 a year. You'd be very hard pushed to find something at 1,300 a year anywhere, I think, really. I just hit the jackpot. I was very, very lucky with that. £1,300 a year. 2,400 a year doesn't sound too bad to me, to be honest. I've heard ground rents in caravan sites of 4,000, 5,000, anything up to about £8,000, depending on what they've got there and this, that and the other, you see. So please don't buy a caravan without going to check it out. A little bit like buying a car. Look at it like buying a car. Go and check it out first, okay? Get in there and have a look around. Good morning to... are you talking to each other? I think people are talking to it. Just a minute. Begging. Yes, Joanna, begging me. People are begging me to sing. You don't see that, though, Joanna, at the karaoke. It's hidden from view. We need more I can do more. Believe it or not, I can do more cameras. We've done it before. We've had 3 cameras on that stage before, one in the middle and one on each side. But the problem is there's only one bloke working everything, the karaoke, the cameras, and it just became too much. It was impossible to get anything doing. To keep everything flowing smoothly. And so that's why we went back to the one camera there. But yes, begging me to sing at all times. Yes. Good morning to Paul and Lou in Birmingham. Good morning, you lot. John says I switched off 1 minute into it. Pardon? Are you talking about me there? Vile people, vile. Good morning on Facebook to Shania, who's in sunny Ventnor on the seafront this morning. How beautiful. Morning, Shania. You as well. Beautiful. That is the word. Beautiful, Shania. Beautiful. Good morning to Mark Jones. Hello, Mark. Hope you're well this morning. Adam the plumber's there, as is Diane Jebb. Eric Johnson is going to bed. Not yet, Eric. I ain't started yet. Come on. It's only 3 a.m. in Texas, US of A, home of Dallas. Did I tell you I met Linda Gray? Have I told you that? I have met Sue Ellen from Dallas. Da 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 da. Do you think she remembers? Do you think she remembers that she met me, Eric? Hello to Michael Pullman in Australia. Byron Roy is there. Good morning, Byron. That's a nice name, Byron. Who says it's 11:45 in South Africa. South Africa. I've never been there. You got all those wonderful animals roaming around and tigers and lions and elephants and things, haven't you there? Good morning to Chris Manzar. Ray Reynolds is indeed there. Good morning, Ray Reynolds, who was on top form last night. Ray Reynolds on top form last night. Mark Cording was also there last night. Unfortunately got there so late because some idiot pulled the emergency cord on the train or something, so that involved him getting late, which unfortunately meant he only sung one song yesterday, and you were so close to singing another one. I hate to tell you that, Mark. You were the next on the list. But I looked at the time and I think you chose a long song and it just wouldn't have fitted in. That's always a worry. Let me warn you, when you're at a karaoke night, do not choose your last song as a long one, because sometimes it won't fit in. We have to finish on time. Very important to finish on time. Good morning to nephew Gary Butler. Oh, I can't believe it. Now, my sister does a little bit of a job for my nephew. Okay, she goes and cleans the house. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? She goes and cleans the house. Well, she don't do a lot while she's there. She don't. This morning, she's got the children, because they're on holiday at the moment. School children on holiday at the moment. Impossible to move around in town. Oh, let's go out to TGI. We can't get into the cafe in Waitrose, dear, to get a scone and a cup of tea through little people running around all over the place. And they brush past you with those dirty little faces and tomato sauce and chocolate bar muck all over them, don't they? All on your nice clean clothes. Well, of course, my great niece, Evie. Good morning, Evie. Great nephew, Harry. Good morning, Harry. And great niece, Olivia. They're all up there at the moment. My sister, instead of doing the cleaning, is laying down on the sofa, getting the children to do the cleaning, disguising it as a game. Shocking. Going, oh, let's see who can hoover the carpet first. Ready, go! And then she goes to sleep. Terrible. All right, kids. And then they get, of course, I bet they get the worst job, the toilet. You don't want to see my nephew's toilet. Oh, God. I have no... You do not want to see my nephew's toilet. Terrible. Mine is always sparkling clean here. Sparkling, that toilet there. Thank you very much. A couple of you sharing the show to your walls this morning, so thank you very much for that. By the way, boys and girls, if you're new to the show, just to let you know, we don't have a regular time for the show. It could appear at any time, day or night, so you need to have those little subscription buttons pressed, whether on Facebook or YouTube. I would advise clicking them both, because sometimes one or the other, or both actually, might not work. And the idea is, whenever there's a show on, your device will go bing! Perhaps not quite like that, bing! Okay, and you'll know there's a live show on. There is going to be, hopefully, an extra show tonight, and there's a reason for that, which I'll come at. This all ties in with this. I'm going to save you some money today. This all ties in with this very special offer that I have located last night while I was at work. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But to test for myself, there'll be a live show tonight to test that out, okay? Mark says, such a good night last night. He was at the karaoke. He fell asleep and woke up with my badge on. Good lad, Mark. About 3 years ago, I had some karaoke badges saying, I am one of Chris Reardon's singers. It's a yellow badge, 2016. I must get some more of those made. I absolutely must get some more of those made. I'm a bit short of the cash at the moment. I've got some really big bills I've been getting in at the moment, all to do with the properties and what have you. One property had to be completely done up. And there's just some really big bills coming in at the moment, so I've got to watch my money. Good morning to Eric Johnson. Says it's howdy. Oh yeah, that's right, howdy, innit? Howdy. Old JR used to say that, howdy. Dallas was one of my favourite programmes of all time on the telly. That and Fame. Do you remember Fame? There's a Fame reunion thing going on here, I think, soon. Someone's brought several members of the cast of Fame over here. I believe there is a Facebook. No, there is. There is a Facebook website and all that. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, I'm tempted by that. But then I saw the price of the tickets and they were quite expensive, But Fame, what a fantastic, lively program that was back in the 80s. It reminds me a bit of a place I used to work at, Belushi's actually, in London Bridge. That was always full of young people dancing around and jumping up and down and joining in with everything. Fantastic job. Belushi's is one of the places I used to do karaoke at. And funnily enough, last night, two of my favourite people who I haven't seen for about 3 years, who used to come to Belushi's on a regular basis at London Bridge, popped down, namely Sheila and Shirley. You can't miss them. One is about 7 foot tall and the other is about 1 foot tall. And they always come together and they're wonderful, wonderful, warm people. And it was so nice to see them last night. Shirley did Shirley Bassey, the one with the propeller heads. That one. And Sheila did Never Knew Love Like This Before. You know that one from Stephanie Mills? I never knew love like this before. That one. Oh, it was so nice to see them last night. And it's the weirdest thing, because only last week I was thinking about them. And this happens an awful lot. If I haven't seen someone for some time and I think about them, maybe I should see if I can contact Sheila and Shirley at some point. And then, a few days later, they walk in somewhere that I'm working. That has happened so many times, I can't tell you. It really has, and it happened again last night. So really, really nice to see Sheila and Shirley last night. It certainly was. Good morning to Mari. Good morning, Mari, who's with us live this morning. The lovely Mari down in Cornwall. Good morning, darling. There's my sister, Sharon Butler. Look at her. So see, she can find time to sit there and text while she's supposed to be working. Amazing, really, isn't it? My sister said, kids need to learn. That's why we play cleaning games. She calls them cleaning games, where the kids are mopping the floor and she's sitting there. She lays there on the settee, gin and tonic in one hand, box of chocolates on a little table on the other. I feel sorry for my nephew. He works very hard. You know, he don't sit there playing computer games all day long like some of them. I'm telling you that now. Good morning to Martin Edwards. A very good morning to you. Mark needs an updated badge. You'll have one when they get done. When that will happen, I don't know. But there's no key rings or anything like that. I want to point that out, okay? Thank you, Mark. Mark says I'm looking smart this morning. I try to look nice. Joanna says, my girl bites me. Is that your cat or dog? My girl bites me when she hears Chris start singing. Oh, my Lord. Someone's there on Periscope. We don't usually get the Periscope messages come through. But there we are. Inner Tidia says, I just got another iPad so I can finally make you that custom to go you requested. What's a custom to go? I don't know what a custom to go is. We don't usually get Periscope messages. Anyone else got Periscope? Want to try that? Send us a Periscope message and let's see if they're coming through now. Oh, they don't usually come through, the Periscope messages. There we are. Paul and Lou. Chris starts singing and my dog started howling. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Is that how it goes? Oh, JP, that's a problem, Chris, living here. I was going to buy using the photos, but agree with you. I want a quiet place, yours or the site. Ingamole. I don't know anything about Ingamoles. I tell you what, JP. We are going on holiday and it's in the Skegness area. My nephew, who's with us this morning, and his wife and their 3 delightful children. If you want, we could... We might have time. I don't know if the site that we're going on holiday on is the same site as what this caravan is that you're looking at. I honestly wouldn't buy a caravan without seeing it. I think you're just going to have to come over and maybe have a couple of weeks where you go around caravan sites looking. I think that's what you're going to have to do. You know, I mean, the caravan site I'm on, you've got to be very lucky. They come up and they're gone like that straight away because people know. They're such a cheap site to be on and very, very quiet on that site. So I don't know really. There isn't like a website that you can find. There's not like a Chapel Hill website where they put the caravans up. It tends to be a notice board. I was incredibly lucky. I was looking in Gumtree of all places. I looked on eBay and Gumtree and I already knew the site of all. And I said the next day. Like 12 hours later, my nephew, Gary, who's with us this morning, I sent him down to the site and I said, let me know what to do. And he said, yep, this is the best one. I think you should buy it. So I bought it. And I didn't see it, but I had someone that I had 100% trust in to choose for me, you see. You don't have that. Or at least I don't think you have that over it. You've got to go and have a look at it, John. All right, you've got to go and have a look at it. No bingo, no pub. No bingo! Oh! No bingo. I don't think I could live without bingo. Not anymore. Mind you, that bingo we went down Skegness, that went too fast for me. I didn't go again. It was so fast. So fast I couldn't keep up. Mark says it must be his sleepy eyes. That's why I'm looking good. Right. Now, before we do much else, I want to tell you about this offer that I've discovered, boys and girls. First of all, you know how I bang away at my telephone contract. I'm on the 3, okay? I got an iPhone, but I own the iPhone. So all I've got is a SIM-only plan from 3, okay? I pay £25 a month. That's for unlimited data, which includes tethering. Okay, that's a fairly recent thing. They did have a cap on the tethering at something like, I think it was about 20 gig or something like that. They have now removed the cap, right? So unlimited data, including tethering, unlimited minutes and unlimited texts, which I hate texts. I absolutely hate I find them so incredibly impersonal. And I find they interrupt with your day. You're trying to do something. Not so much on my phone, because not many people text me anyway. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I don't get to... I don't mind taking phone calls. Even if there's a telly on and the phone rings, I'll take the call. I can't stand beep, 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 beep. Oh, it gets on my nerves. It really does. So I don't do text much, but that's unlimited. So I get all that for £25 a month. At the moment, there's an offer on. You get all that for £20 a month. So that's £20 a month on the 3 network. Okay? This is not the only offer I'm going to tell you about. There's even one that I'm finding quite exciting. So unlimited data, unlimited calls, unlimited texts, £20 a month. On the 3 network, you want to get yourself down today. If you're not sure about the network where you are, go and get yourself a pay-as-you-go SIM from 3 and try that in your phone. Of course, you're going to have an unlocked phone. Remember that. If you've bought your phone from EE, it may well be locked by them. Or Vodafone, or what's the other one? O2. I don't know what they're called now. Aren't they called something else now? O2, whatever they're called now. It needs to be unlocked. It might be locked. You can ring them up and get it unlocked, right? Before you try that 3 SIM. But once you've got an unlocked phone, get yourself a 3 SIM, try it in your phone at all the normal places that you're in. And if it works perfectly all right, I would swap over to them. A vast saving to be made. Not only that, because I posted that last night on my Facebook. I moved over to 3 about 2 years ago. And the reason is I wanted unlimited data on my SIM, and no one else could give it to me. So I went to 3 and I tried it out in all the various places. I was happy with it. So then I took out a contract with them, and I've been happy ever since. And in fact, I find the signal in everywhere I go better than the EE one ever was. I think you get used to something and you don't want to try anything else, you see. This is the thing. And I was a bit, I don't know if I should leave EE. It's all a little bit like that, right? So that's the phone. Now, there's something else I've discovered. Last night, while I was at work, I'm often tapping away on here, looking for bits for this show, to be honest. They also do a home broadband package. Now, this is not on wires. This is over 4G. And before you say anything, no, that's not going to be very good at all. This is what I use at the caravan. At the caravan, when I do my shows from up there, they look just as good as this, picture quality wise. So everything works exactly the same as it does in here, except there is no wired internet connection. It's all over 4G. Now, I don't have a separate device. What I do is stream the show from my equipment, basically from the computer, the laptop in there that I take around with me. I don't leave one up there, but I take it around with me. There's an old computer installed there. I have my iPad on there. So there's 3 devices connected to my little phone, tethering out onto the 4G network. And it works perfectly all right. It doesn't. The only time it goes wrong is when the computer tries to do an update. But I think I've sussed that out now, because I now do an update before you see me come on here. I've already done an update on the computer, so it won't try and do one again. You see, they are now doing a home broadband 4G package. So you get your little box and everything like that, and you put the SIM in, okay, and it gives you unlimited home 4G data. How much? Go on, have a guess how much that is. So you've got your thing there. The only difference is there's no wires going into it, because everything's Wi-Fi. Now, I don't know, haven't had a good look at the router, the 4G router. I don't know if you can actually physically plug your computers into that. I haven't had a proper look at the unit yet. But you can do it on most modern computers. All my computers here, they've all got, well, that's 2. I say all. The 2 computers here do have the Wi-Fi already built in. And I tried it last night. I turned off my Virgin Media Wi-Fi, which is brilliant. I've never had a problem with it. I turned it off and I switched on the personal hotspot on my phone. Remember, I've got unlimited tethering on this. And I switched the Wi-Fi on both computers and tried them out, and it worked perfectly. And the speeds I got were 25 meg down and 22 meg up. Now, my Virgin is 350 meg down and 20 meg up. But it doesn't matter. You don't actually need 350 meg coming down. You don't need it. The only thing is, if I go down a level on my Virgin Media, my upload drops from 20 to 10. Now, I need a fairly good, reasonable upload speed to be able to do these shows. Okay? You wouldn't need that. I do because I'm sending out the video and the sound, you see. Right? Now, 25 down and 25 up is more than enough to do what I do. But here's the thing. Virgin Media, fantastic, no complaints, never had any complaints. Very fast, it always all works. The thing is, it's £53 a month I pay Virgin Media. And that is only for broadband. I have no television. I do have a phone downstairs, which I don't use, but that's free anyway. So I pay £53 a month for my Virgin broadband. Okay? The 4G home Wi-Fi is £22 a month. Unlimited data. £22 in comparison to £33 a month. So how much is that I'd be saving? That's £20 a month, 20, 40, 60, 81, that's about £250 a month a year I would save by changing over. That's not bad, is it? 4G, 3 Wi-Fi, broadband, £22 a month instead of my Virgin broadband at £53 a month. That's an enormous saving. Enormous. So tonight, what I'd like to do tonight at some point, hopefully, is I'll switch the personal hotspot on this again. And I'd like to try and do a show over 4G. Now, there's no reason why this won't work, because it works perfectly all right down at the caravan. So I don't see why it won't work here. So I'll turn off my home broadband router, switch on the Wi-Fi on both these computers, and have a show tethering on the mobile phone tonight. And if you're around, do join us for that. And I'd just like to try it out. We'll probably take phone calls as well, just to see how it goes. Because you've got to try these things out first. You don't want to cancel something and then find the thing that you take on doesn't work as well. It's got to work as well as this does here. So I'm going to try it out tonight and see what happens. The only other thing is I'm subscribed. Subscribed? What's that called now? Booked up? No. I'm attached. Oh, Christ, it's another one of those words I can't get. I'm sure this is early set dementia or something like that. Subscribed. What is that bloody word now? Right, okay, so I'm signed up with Virgin Media until May. So I've got a couple of months to run. So I wrote to 3 last night on their Facebook wall, and I said to them, is this an offer or is this like permanent? And they've come back to me and said, it's an offer. It's an offer. However, you know, if I'm signed up to Virgin Media, contract, that's it, contract. I'm with them until May, I think early May or something like that. So that's only a couple of months. So if I was to take on the 3 one as well and run the 2 at the same time, that would be all right probably. You know, I'd only lose 40 quid and then I'd get that back within 2 months with the amount of savings. So I'm going to try that out tonight and see how it goes. They've also got a lot of other really good offers on that 3 website. So do have a look at that, boys and girls, and that might just save you some money. Okay? Let's have a look there. Eric says, I've got a question for you. What do you think about guns? Me as a Texan thinks guns are amazing and laws won't prevent a criminal from getting one. Eric, I don't like guns. I don't like guns. If I had a gun, would it save my life? I don't know. No, we don't really like guns here in the UK. We just don't like them. I understand where you're coming from because you've always had them. My opinion is if more people had guns, more people would die. And I think that's the case in your country, isn't it? If more people had guns and there were more flooding into... Anyone could just go out and buy a gun or if you need a license or something, I'm sure it would be easy enough. If you really wanted one, you could pass a license. But it would bring more guns onto streets and things like that, and I don't like the idea of that. So that's my opinion of that. Eric says it's good protection, just wanting an opinion from a non-American. Yeah, I don't like guns. Really don't like guns, I'm afraid. All right. What are you talking about there, John? Oh, I see what it is. Good morning to SOS Gregorian. Morning. Netflix is fantastic. Netflix will work on the 4G as well. No problem at all. I need to connect my telly to it as well. I've got to connect everything to my phone, tethering that I would normally have connected to my router. Anyway, just to see how that works, okay? Michael says Australia banned guns in 1993 after the Port Arthur massacre, which I don't know about that, actually. I don't know about that. Eric says people get shot in gun-free zones. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. As they do here. People get shot here. Just not so many. Just not so many, see? All right. As I say, the children are all on half-term at the moment. Do you remember being on half-term at school? So many holidays, don't they? When you're a child, small and you're at school, you're thinking, oh, you know, we seem to be at school so much, we never have any holidays. When you leave school, you just sort of realise how many holidays you used to have. Good morning, Tanya. We were just on holiday all the time, weren't we? And of course, they're on holiday now. They're on their half-term holidays, which strangely enough, didn't seem to affect the swimming pool yesterday. In fact, if anything, it was a lot quieter than it usually is. Because what happens up at the swimming pool I go to, most swimming pools do this now, they have an aquafit, which is generally older people in there jumping up and down, and they go in there for about an hour, and it disrupts everything else. But you get used to it, and you know you'd work out the times when that's on, and you avoid those times, you know. Well, generally, when the school children are on a holiday, they cancel the classes. They don't have it going on. So yesterday, I went up there at my normal Monday time, which is about 11:15, and I thought, well, the ladies will probably still be in there. And, of course, they weren't in there. And I said, where's all the girls today? Oh, we didn't have it today because the school children are on holiday. Oh, OK. And I went in the pool. Well, there's only about 3 people in there. Marvellous. No children at all. Mind you, I suppose they'd probably be out somewhere because around here, we've got lots for children to do around here. We've got the Legoland, which is just up the road. My nephew and his family will be going there. They're coming in, I think it's April or May. I think they're coming to. Let me see on my calendar because I'll be going with them. I've got an annual. Oh, I hope it's still in. Actually, I hope it's still in. Let me see if that's over here. Just a minute. My annual Legoland pass, is it here? All sorts of things here, dear. Lego. Oh, I don't know where that is then. I've got a. I've got an annual Legoland pass. I don't know if it will have run out by then. I hope not. Oh, that would be a shame. I'll have to buy another wave if I. They're coming down in April, aren't they? Let's have a look. Yeah, April, early April. They're coming. They're coming. So looking forward to that. And I'm also going, as I say, on holiday with them. And of course, I'll be going to Cyprus as well at some point. I've got to sort that out today. I've decided today is the day I sort out my flights and my hotel for my week in Cyprus. That'll probably be in sort of late March, where my niece is moving over there in just a couple of weeks' time for 3 years. With her husband's got a job over there for 3 years, so very much looking forward to that. But when I was on, half-term holidays and school holidays, I always had stuff to do, didn't you? Often I went scout camping with the scouts, which at this time of the year, it used to be really cold. We used to go to somewhere called Buckmore Park, which I think is in sort of Surrey way, just down that way. I'm not sure exactly where it is now. Or was it Kent? Buckmore, but they actually have a website on there, although I don't think it's affiliated so much towards the Scouts anymore. I think it's open to other people because the Scout movement is becoming smaller now. I don't think there's so many boys, and girls are allowed to join as well now with the Scouts. I don't think there's so many boys and girls in the Scouts anymore. But we used to go to this place called Buckmore Park every February, with our scout leader, Ted Morden. He was a wonderful, wonderful man. He died a few years ago. I didn't know he died. I was so sad about that. I would happily have gone, not happily, but I would have wanted to have gone to the funeral of this great man who looked after all his boys, at these scout. He really was a fantastic man. And we used to go to this Buckmore Park every February, and it was bloody freezing cold. There would be snow on the ground. He'd have us out there in shorts. Oh, yes. None of this namby-pamby wetsuits and all that business. No, we'd be out in shorts in the snow. So cold. So cold. And the hut that we used to sleep in, well, there was no heating in that. We were freezing. But the sleeping bags kept you warm, and in those days, in the 1970s, you didn't bother so much about that. There'd be all these bunk beds in this great big hall, which in the middle of the hall, there was like a chimney, right? That was like to aerate the place, I suppose, to let all the, the moisture out and all that. But there was no heating. It must have been minus degrees down there, I tell you that. Oh, God. And there was me and my friend. There was Charlie, Steve, there was Phil, and there was Tim. We used to kind of sleep heads to each other so that we could talk while we were sleeping. We were only little, about 10 years old, 11 years old or something like that. And we get up in the morning really early. He'd have us up in the morning. Oh, yeah, the leader would come in, bagging this thing. Come on, up you all get. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7:30 in the morning, something like that. And we'd go at the weekends. And we'd all have our little radios. And we'd have on the radio, Radio 2 Junior Choice with Ed Stewpot. We'd be listening to that. All getting ready. I had to have a wash before breakfast. Then we'd go and have breakfast. That was all cooked for us, in the hall, and trying to warm up in this bloody place. We were all freezing cold. And on this particular camp, they had several things. They had a swimming pool on there. A roller skating rink, which we loved going round and round. We used to go on this thing with music playing out. Really bad speaker system. It was always so distorted. I certainly remember some of the tunes we used to skate round to. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't no clouds above. Mr. Blue Sky. ELO. That's it. ELO. That's the sort of music we had going round. Fantastic. And there's a swimming pool. And there was also a go-kart thing. They had go-karts there as well. I wasn't keen on the go-karts. Funny, innit? I don't know why. Just wasn't keen on the go-karts. That was all. And there was always something to do. Then we go back for lunch, then come and do some more stuff. Maybe a bit of chopping up wood or learning knots and things like that. It was fantastic. I think at the time, you don't appreciate these things until you get older. As a boy, what you say, I'm going on a cold scout camp again, I'm going to be freezing cold at night. And we were cold. I tell you, but no one died. No one died. So, I need the heating on. Oh, I can't go there. It's got no heating. Well, no one ever died in the cold. It's wonderful. That's what we used to do when we had school holidays, stuff like that. And when we weren't going camping, we'd be out on our bicycles, cycling around Richmond Park or Powell Park. Wonderful times. Wonderful times as a child. And I do feel that younger children today, they don't have a lot of this. As I say, the scout movement has become smaller and smaller. I think one of the reasons is all these restrictions now, and everyone's afraid that the leader's going to be a paedophile and this, that, and the other, and it's impossible to get anything done. And then when people do want to become leaders or something like that, they're frightened that some kid's going to say something, and immediately the finger will be pointed. And people are like packs of wolves now. That people don't want to do the job because of this. They got no power anymore. Oh, Mum, so-and-so touched me. And that's it. You'd be straight on the front page of the Daily Mail and down the court. People don't want to do the jobs anymore. Absolutely. Terrible, really, isn't it? But it's just one of those things. That's what society has done to all of us. Good people who would want to do these type of things and and have groups of children going away on camp, this, that and the other. Oh, have you filled in the relevant forms? Have you passed this test? Has everyone looked into your background? Well, what's the point in doing it all then? Too much hassle. Too much hassle. Literally, you know, you'd arrange. I was a leader for a while. I was a cub leader. Now, I don't think I took them on camp ever. I would have been 20 at the time. I think I might have been too young to take them around away. But if you were a patrol leader, that is like you were the older boy of, say, 8 in a group. So you would have been 15, something like that. You were allowed to, you could go on patrol camps where like 6 of you or something like that would go along and you were the leader. And I did that a couple of times. It's great. Absolutely great. And you would ring up the scout camp and you, hello, I'd like to book a pitch, please. Oh, okay. Who are you, please? Oh, it's Chris Reardon. I'm patrol leader of the, the Kestrels at First Roehampton Scout Group. Oh, okay, Chris. Well, here's the prices. Okay. And that's it. And then you get down there, usually via parents' cars. All these parents would muck in and put all the children in various cars, or maybe one car, depending on how many were. And they'd take you down to the camp and leave you there. That's it, mate. Get on with it. And before that, you would have had to prepare it. You would have had all the shopping worked out, you know, bags of shopping, gone to the supermarket or whatever, got tins, mainly tins. We mainly ate out of tins and dried food. And then on most of these camps, it was all open fires. You would climb on this pile of wood with nails, rusty nails sticking out like that. Why anyone never got nails in their foot, I do not know. And you collect all this wood and you make a fire and you put the little cans on and your food in there and you'd cook it yourself, and then you'd probably open a packet of 15 or 14 years old. We're sitting around this fire, smoking our heads off. Cigarettes, smoking our heads off around the campfire. Oh, and it was my friend Allan. Not Allan Campbell, who's usually here, but Allan Butcher. Allan Butcher. I never forget, and I've told this story before. It's hilarious. We were all sitting around the car. We'd had dinner, and it was, I don't know, about 8 o'clock at night, something like that. I think this was an Easter camp that we went on, patrol camp. So it was only 8 of us. And we're sitting around this fire. We'd made this wood. You always used to make everything. No one turned up with a table and chairs. You made everything out of bits of wood. And you had that fire there. I doubt very much you'd be allowed to do anything that we ever used to do there because of health and safety. And everyone wants their children surrounded in little bits of cotton wool in case they hurt themselves. Oh, it's just so pathetic life now. It really is. So we'd made this table and we're sitting around playing cards and smoking, all smoking cigarettes, one after the other. Do you want a fag, Chris? There you go, mate. 14, 15 years old we all were. And we knew no one would catch us smoking because we had the fire going as well, you see. The smoke from the fire, that lovely smelling smoke on the fire, wooden fire. And one of the boys says, I can smell something burning. And someone else said, that's the fire over there. Nah, it smells different. Does it smell different? I couldn't smell. Now, this wouldn't be drugs. I want to tell you that now. There were no drugs then. No one was going around smoking all this dodgy stuff. It just didn't happen then. Nothing like that happened. It was just normal cigarettes, okay? Maybe it's the cigarettes, someone said. I can't remember what I said or we're looking around. And then suddenly Allan Butcher said, oh my God, my trousers are on fire. And he had sat so close to this fire that the bottoms of his trousers, at the bottoms near the foot, were all ablaze. Oh, God. And we're chucking buckets of water over it and someone's got a blanket and he's got... I remember Allan sitting there, what's my mum going to say? Oh, God. That's just one incident. Other stuff that used to happen on these scout camps. Oh my lord! And if you were in a tent, which we were most of the time, you know, we rarely went on scout camping and had huts. We did at the Buckmore Park. Most places we had tents. If it rained, you should never ever touch the inside of the tent because the rain then will constantly drip down where you touched it. Never ever touch the inside of a tent. We learnt that. We'd all be in the tent smoking our heads off. Honestly, and the skipper would come in. Anyone been smoking in here, lads? No, not us, Skip, not us. I mean, you actually thought that because you told him no one was smoking, he would believe you. Of course he didn't believe you. Oh dear. And if you wanted a wee at night, you had to go outside the tent. I mean, you're supposed to go to the toilets, but no one ever bothered doing that. We just went outside the tent. All had our little torches at night, watching everything, putting shapes on the ceiling and all that. Wow. Really great times in the Scouts in the 1970s. They really were. And as I say, I doubt very much that half of what we did then would still be allowed. And I really miss that. Really miss that. We had our own little show, the gang show. All the Scouts once a year from all over would get together. We the group I was in, First Roehampton Scouts, we had our own gang show. Now that was very unusual. Generally, it was districts that had gang shows. So, say for example, you take 4 or 5 towns that all get together and they put on one big show together. We were only one small town, but we had our own gang show, which ran for many years. First Roehampton Gang Show. And I was in that many times, and it was just kids dressing up and doing their thing. It didn't matter. It's a bit like karaoke, really. You know, it didn't matter whether you could sing or certainly not the early years. It didn't matter whether you could sing or dance. You just went and did it. And parents and other people would come and watch you on this stage. It used to be a place called Garnet College in Roehampton. Then it got, I can't remember if we couldn't use that place anymore or we just needed something bigger, and from Garnet College it went to Wandsworth School, which was an all-boys school. That's neither here nor there. It wasn't anything to do with the school. We just wanted to use the stage because they had a lovely stage there, you know, for the assemblies and all that business. So we used that. And then, oh sorry, I've just banged my microphone. And then I think we used Southfields College as well once. Southfields College. So we used all these different places. And we would go every Friday night and rehearse, you know, with a little script. I had terrible trouble learning lines. I'm not very good at learning. I'm better at, you know, impromptu chatting rather than learning lines. And in these shows, you'd have little sketches, comedy things, bit of singing, bit of dancing, like a variety show. That's how it was. And we'd go there every Friday night and we'd rehearse. And sometimes you'd have a rehearsal on Sunday afternoons as well, as you got closer to the date. And then it would start and it would be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think, when we did the show. And then after the last show, there'd be some sort of event in a hall, which would go on till late at night, which in later years I was the DJ at. So I had a great time in the Scouts. I really did. Let's have a look here. Just go back to your messages here, boys and girls. Tanya, I think I said good morning to you. Good morning, Tanya. Mark Cobain. Good morning, Mark. All is well here. All is well. Alan Russell, good morning. I got my daughter Megan down with her friend this week. Is it Megan or Megan? I'm not sure. It cost me £135 already. They've only been here for 3 days. You're taking them to the wrong places, Alan. I'm sure. Hello to Diane Jeb. Good morning, Diane. Robbie Stedman. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they certainly were the days. They were fantastic days that I had as a child. I was very, very lucky. Alan, when I was a very young man, my nan would take me to see It's a Knockout in Putney on a Sunday. Was it in? I didn't know it was in Putney. It's a Knockout. Was it really? I didn't know that was in Putney. His PE teacher. I don't want to do abuse stuff, mate. I really don't want to do that. George Knight, a very good morning to you, George. We don't really do serious stuff like that, Alan. Come on, mate. Hello to Dominique. 5:30 in the morning. My cat woke me up. Was it hungry? Well, feed it occasionally then. I'm not surprised. Do you not feed your cat properly? Poor little cat. Please, can I have some food? Does it walk up and down? My cat used to do that. She would jump on the bed and literally, if I was on my side, she would walk up and down me until I woke up. And then the face would come towards me. As her face came down. As her face came towards me. Lovely things, cats, aren't they? Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. I enjoyed telling you all about that. And don't forget, we're going to do a little show tonight with phone in as well. I don't know what time that will be, okay? Make sure you got your little notifications set on there. And that'll tell you when it's on, just so we can test out. It might not work. I think it will. But I want to do it all via tethering. No wired internet. Because I think I can save £300 a week by switching to a 4G broadband with 3. So, happy birthday on this Tuesday, the 19th of February 2019 to Mr. Dave Raval. Good morning, Dave. Proper member of the Liberal Democrat Party. An all-round good guy. Does a lot of work politically and all that. A very good friend of mine I haven't seen for some time now. So Dave Ravel, a very happy birthday to you. I saw a little picture of you in Malta, which is, of course, I think that's where you're from, isn't it? So happy birthday, Dave. Ryan Appleby, an excellent DJ. I think he does Plush in Oxford, among other places. Happy birthday to Ryan this morning. Tony Culver. Good morning, Tony. Happy birthday to you. Rusian Azadov is 25 years old today. Happy birthday, sir. Jonny Warren, a young 39. Life begins at 40, Johnny. Only another year to wait. Happy birthday, Johnny. Allan Cole, good morning. Happy birthday. Mike Ashton. Mike! Good morning, Mike. Long time no see. Regular at the Golden Lion in Camden when I was there. Happy birthday, Mike. Lorrie Lever. Good morning, my darling. Looking very smart there, Lorrie. Happy birthday, darling. Stephen Sutton, happy birthday to you. Stephen Moore, happy birthday to you. Marty Smith, Birmingham. Morning, Miss Marty. 46 years old today. Long time no see again. And also we've got Chris Scott's birthday on this Tuesday morning. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Well, I shall go. I've got some things to do now. I've got to redesign a Monday night karaoke poster today. I've decided to do a new Monday karaoke poster. And I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to try and sort out my Cyprus flight and hotel today. I need to do that now because it's only a couple of weeks away, and I've not been able to sort it out at all. I can see myself going into Thomas Cook, to be honest. I'm going to book up the flights direct with British Airways though, because I've got a load of points which my mate reminded me. So you must have some Avios points. It was Keith George yesterday, wasn't it, who called in? I've got a load of Avios points or I don't know what to call it, Avios points or something like that. And apparently I can use that to save a small fortune on my fares. So that's probably what I'll do. Okay, so lots to do. Michael says, if I miss the show tonight, I'll watch the replay. Okay, Michael. Well, we'll see how it goes. It's just a test to see how it all works over the 4G Wi-Fi thing rather than my wired-in Virgin Media one. Because I'd like to save £300 a year. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, you know? Michael Pullman says, have a good day. Thank you, and have a good day to you. Russ Philip Vernon, very late here. We've finished. Been working the night shift and just got home. Well, not to worry. You can watch us up on the United Kingdom Talk Player, also known as YouTube. Joanna, get ready. Earplugs. I've sung my song. Don't make me sing another song, Joanna. I'm very tempted. Don't make me sing another song. You have a nice day, boys and girls. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the show today. And hopefully I'll see you a little bit later on tonight. Bye-bye now.